Okay, so in this problem, what I'd like you to do is, look at your notes that you've taken, like the steps you've written down, the examples you have. And you're going to try to do this problem. You're going to do it step by step. And I'm going to also do this problem. And you're going to use that to try to check yourself. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to look at this equation, which is right here, and just try to do step one. Pause the video right now and do that first step. And then press play and see if you did it right. But seriously, pause it. Don't just play the video on through. So pause it and work it out. Okay, so there's a couple ways you could have started this. The easiest way is just to subtract 3x from both sides, because that'll cancel both of these out, and it will then equal 0. Okay, now you can see this negative 3x and that negative 6x squared, they're not like terms, so you can't combine those. So you're going to have 6, oops, sorry about that. You're going to have 6 and then negative 3x and negative 6x squared, okay? So now with this, I want you to go ahead and figure out what is A. So we've got this first step done. What is A, what is B, and what is C? So pause the video, figure out what A, B, and C are, and then press play and see if you did it right. Okay, so I'm just going to switch the order around here. I'm going to put the x squared first, so that's negative 6x squared. The negative 3x can stay in the middle, and the plus 6, because it's a positive 6, goes at the end. So that means my A is negative 6, my B is negative 3, and then my C is positive 6. Okay? All right, so that part's done. Now, I want you to go ahead and substitute those values into the equation and pause the video while you're doing that. And then when you're done, press play again to see if you did it right. Okay. Okay, so we got negative 3 here, and we got negative 3 here. We've got negative 6 here because A is negative 6, and negative 6 here because A is negative 6, and then C is just 6. Okay, that's done. All right, now go on to this. See if you can simplify the expression doing those 4 parts, those 4 bullets there. Okay. All right, so the first of is we want to put the opposite of B. B is negative 3, so I want to put the opposite, positive 3. Then we're going to do B squared, so that's negative 3 squared. That gives us 9. And then I'm going to multiply negative 4 times A times C. Well, let's see here. Negative 4 times 6 is 24. And then I've got a, oh yeah, positive 24, because it's a negative times a negative. Then times that by 6 more, I get positive 144. So it should be plus 144. And then 2a is 2 times negative 6. That's negative 12. Okay. So that part is done. Okay. I can go on to the next step and go ahead. I can combine what's inside this square root. So I have 3 plus or minus, now 9 plus 144 is 153 over negative 12. Now, honestly, like you could just leave it like that. You could say, okay, I've got the value in radical form. 3 plus or minus the square root of 153 over negative 12. You could leave it like that and could be like, hey, I'm done. I did it. But if you wanted to go ahead and find those approximate values of those where those x-intercepts are, you could go on and do those final steps. So let's just do that real quick. So let's see here what we have. We had 3 plus or minus the square root of 153 over negative 12. Let me just make sure I copied that right. Because if I put the wrong numbers, it's definitely not going to be right. 3 plus or minus 153 and negative 12. Okay. All right, so we're in good shape. Okay, So once this comes up, go ahead and do that next step. We already combined everything under the square root. Oops, there we go. We did that piece. This piece is done. See if you can separate into two solutions, the addition, subtraction, and find those approximate x-intercepts, okay? All right, welcome back. You should have had 3 plus the square root of 153 over negative 12, and 3 minus the square root of 153 over negative 12. Okay, so to do this top part, I'm just going to do 3 plus the square root of 153. I'm using my calculator to do the square root of 153. That's gives me about 15.3 over negative 12. So I'm just going to do negative 15.3, divide that by negative 12. Okay, so I got about negative 1.275. So let's just call that about negative 1.3. That's one of my x-intercepts. And then my second one is going to be 3 minus the square root of 153, which gives me about negative 9. We'll say it says 9.36. We'll call it negative 9.4 over negative 12. And then we'll just do that division. 9.4 divided by 12, and negative divided by a negative gives me a positive, so it's about 0.7833 repeating. So about, we'll call it about 0.8 more or less. Okay. All right, so there you go. Hopefully you did it right. If not, you had some trouble. Hey, no problem. Go into the discussion board and put up a question about how to evaluate these, because there are, there's like 6 steps to this. So I could see how if you were working on this, maybe you got a different answer, or you had some questions, or maybe just a what if question. Okay, so go ahead and go on to that next part of the remote learning, and just go into that discussion board and add some of your thinking there. All right.